So, talking about portfolios, I've obviously got just 2 in my terrible Sharesies portfolio. What is an ideal number to have?
Look, there's no hard and fast rule, but I think as a rule of thumb, you'd probably want at least 20 companies. And if you look around the market in New Zealand at specific funds that are provided by fund managers like Milford, you typically wouldn't find a managed fund that had less than 20 companies. And if you think about it, if you did have 20 companies, then your maximum exposure per company is only going to be 5%. So if a referendum comes along or a pandemic happens, you're only exposed to that specific incident to 5%. So that would be a good starting point, I think. But of course, you've got to have time to invest in not just 20 companies, but you might need to look at 200 to find those 20. So the way I explain it to clients sometimes is we've got 40 analysts in our investment team, all spending 40 to 50 hours a week researching. That's 2,000 hours a week. Do you have that time to offer it to it yourself?
I don't think anyone has 2,000 hours a week.
I don't think so.
Just trying to do that math in my head, but I think I've got, how many hours do I have?
It's like 168 or something.
Wow. You are good at maths.
Oh, I don't know if that's right.
So portfolio building is something I can do myself with Sharesies, but I'm hearing that I probably don't have the knowledge or the time to just be tackling that by myself, maybe.
It's a lot of time, right? You know, we're spending all day, every day, looking at these companies and making constant different decisions. So if it is something that you want to do, you know, monitoring 20 companies, that is a lot of work. It's definitely good for a hobby and if people want to get skin in the game and see how these things work. But building up a portfolio, it's like anything. If you don't have the time, the expertise, the knowledge, the training, it is easier to outsource.
Yeah, I have a hard enough time monitoring my own emails.
Yeah.
I don't want to even see how many are unread. So I guess what I'm hearing from you guys is that I can go on my Sharesies on my phone, have a play around, click on some things, but it is a little bit like I'm having a play around. I don't really have the knowledge of what I'm up to on there.
Yeah, look, definitely. And if it's something you're interested in and, you know, a hobby to kind of take a bet in a company and watch how it goes, that's fine, you know, but I would not be putting a substantial amount of your money behind it when you openly said you don't have the expertise, you don't have a clue what you're doing. You know, why on earth would you put all the money that you've worked so hard for behind you backing these companies that you're just kind of throwing a dart at? So if you want to generate wealth, you know, you want to put it somewhere that you trust. And if you're investing in a fund, the people managing that money, they have experience, they're educated in this. This is what they do day in, day out. It's their bread and butter. So you're putting your money in the hands of people who are essentially more capable. And, you know, there's a reason they have a job. There's a reason that we have jobs to do this. And, you know, when you're putting your money into a fund, you're getting the expertise of huge investment teams, massive knowledge. They're meeting the companies. You know, we're watching these companies day in, day out.
Yeah, and I suppose me alone at home on my phone, I'm so far from doing any of that.
Exactly.
work.
You know, you mentioned, was it Air New Zealand is the other company. Have you ever looked at their annual reports?
I met Christopher Luxon once.
You know, you don't have it's not the time. So again, it's, you know, it's all fun and games and, you know, $100 or a few $100 in there. But if you want to generate wealth for the future in investing, you really want to put it somewhere that you trust the people know what they're doing.
And I think I'll just add one point to that as well is, you know, if you are on something like Sharesies or another platform, they can't advise you on which shares to buy, where to put your money, but a fund manager can advise you on what fund to pick. So I think that advice piece is really important as well because sometimes people need guidance to put their money in the right place, right?